All right. Hello, everybody. Um, Welcome to live stream. So let me um check some of these buttons out real quick. This is has a nice light that we can put on while we do our drawing. And of course, we have our chats. So that's great and all. Whatever this thing is. Sorry, just bear with me. I'm just playing around a little with the settings. What's this? Oh, flash. We'll see. I don't know if I want flash on or not. We'll just keep it like this for now. So let me reposition a few things, get things all in order. We're gonna zoom up a bit. Well, let's zoom out for now. We'll zoom out for now. But then we'll zoom in as time goes on. Anyway, welcome everybody to the 1,000 subscribers special. That's crazy. 1,000 subs? I did not think I'd ever get to 1,000 subscribers. That's crazy. So when I started this channel, like, what, 4 years ago? It was just for funsies. But I never thought that, you know, never thought I'd get all the way up to 1,000 subs. So thank you guys so much. So I let you guys choose what type of live stream I did, whether it's just a chill and chat, play a Mario game, whatever, or do a drawing. I have done a drawing live stream before about like 9 months ago. So I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. So I let you guys decide, and by the poll votes, drawing ended up winning. So I had some time to be able to think about what or who I was going to draw. And I think I came up with who I was going to draw. If you've seen by the title, I'm going to be drawing Delgado from the 101 Dalmatians Street Smart series. Now, I actually haven't seen much of 101 Dalmatians Street Smart, but it does look like a really cute show that I definitely do want to get into at some point or watch more episodes because I haven't really seen much of um the Street Smart series, unfortunately. But that's something that I do want to, you know, see in the future. It's something that I want to see in the future. Anyway, so yes, today we're drawing Delgado, and I'm gonna be doing um kind of like the picture of what the title shows. And obviously I can't really go on my phone to look up a picture and draw. I just can't do that right now because, live streaming. So I have other places where I can pull up pictures. So here is what we're going to be drawing today. Delgado from the 101 Dalmatians Street Smart series. He's a cute character, don't you think? So that's who we're going to be drawing today. So hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. Sit back, relax, enjoy. I mean, no one's watching right now, but I'm sure we'll get a few people that'll, hop on here and there. So anyway, with that said and done, let's get started, shall we? Um, let's see. Trying to decide what I want to start with. I probably want to start kind of like what we did with Finny last time. I'm probably going to start with the head and work our way down because that seems like, just the easiest way to do things. Um, Let me check a few things real quick. All right. Um, okay, we're back. I just wanted to check a few things. All right. So anyway, um, we're gonna get started here. Let's zoom in a bit to the paper. Probably want to start with the top of the paper because that is probably get that out of the way. So because we're gonna start with the head, just like all the other ones. So currently, Sorry, I'm just checking a few things. Um, okay, one sec before we begin. All right, we're back. So, you guys ready to get started? So, and just in case, you guys weren't paying attention, or you're just joining, or you're watching. I don't know. Anyway, John Delgado, 101 Dalmatian Street Smart. Let's get started. Okay, so let's start with the head. So, it kind of has like a little bit of a curve. So, let's see. You got to start somewhere on the paper, like right around. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. We're a little close. Um, I'm gonna do the top of the paper too. Not too far up there because we still have to draw the ears yet. So how far over do we want this? Something like that. That seems about right. Oops. It's gonna go up and over, and I'm not gonna draw too light or too heavy because I want to be able to, erase if I make mistakes. So we're gonna go kind of up and around, kind of something like that. You guys can see. Um, I might have made it a little bit too big. Yeah, I might have made it too big. Because I need room for the ears. That's the thing that's going to um be a pain. So let's try again. We're gonna erase the entire line. I'm gonna start all over. There we go. All right. Let's try again. Let's not make it quite as big this time. Something like that, I guess. That's better. It's still kind of hard to tell, and I need to draw the ears yet. The ears is what's gonna be a pain because I'm not sure what. All right, we're back. Um, thought I heard a noise. Anyway, is that still too big? Is that still too big? We can't do much too much smaller though. I'm trying to determine like how big I'm gonna need. What should I do? I'm gonna make it smaller. I think we can still make it smaller. We can make it smaller. All right, third time's the charm. Let's try that again. We don't need it just because the picture that you chose. There, that's better. I can work with that. All right. So that's the first part of his head, the top. Um, Now the sides of his head, that kind of go down a little bit. They kind of go inwards a little bit. They kind of go inwards. So we're gonna draw starting here. We're gonna do this side first. I'm gonna go a little bit inwards, kind of like that. We don't want to do it too big because we still have, the bottom body to do. So I'm trying to figure out where maybe something like that. Something like that isn't too bad. And then we're gonna do the same on the other side. I'm gonna make this a little bit less curvy though. Before we do that. Yeah, something more like that. That's better. Okay. Now this side, I'm gonna do the same thing. And move this over a little bit. Zoom in a little bit too. There we go. All right. So now going here, we're gonna do the same thing that we did on the other side. Curve back, and then, whoops, that was a little too curvy. That's why we're using pencil, so we can erase. Something like that. Here's what we have so far. It's a little hard to tell right now because it is just a few lines. Um, so now, oh boy. Now we have the chin. Chinny chin chin. So this goes down, but we can't connect it because of the neck. I still think this head is too big. It could also be just because I'm zoomed in really far. Like if I were to unzoom this, it doesn't look that bad. But zooming in, it makes it look like it's bigger than what it is. All right. Anyway, the cheeks. The so we start here, and we're gonna kind of go not down too or not too crazy, but something like that. Something like that doesn't seem bad. I don't want it to be too far, but I don't want it to be too close either. We got to have a good middle ground. All right. Now the other side, same thing. Hmm. Want to make sure it's not too big. There. There we go. That's not bad. Um, I do think it's maybe a tad big on this side, so I'm just going to erase a tiny bit off because we do need room for the neck. Um, yeah, that looks pretty good. Obviously, it doesn't look like anything as of now, just because um haven't added much of the details. Now, obviously, I'm going to save the body for last, so we can keep that as is. I think the next step is the ears. I think that would be a great next step. What ear am I going to start with? I always end up starting with this side, so that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. Now, let's see. Where does the ears start? About midway on the head. Move this camera a little bit. Something like that. So the ears start about here, maybe up a little bit. Yeah, something probably like that. So it's gonna go like, oh, it goes like, kind of goes something like that. If you can see here. Yeah, that seems about right. I'm just checking, double checking, triple checking, quadruple checking, checking. Make sure, it looks good. I think I made a little bit of a mistake with the head. This side over here looks good, but that side over there, it seems like I don't know what the word is, but I think we can change this corner a little bit. Make it slope downwards a little more. I don't mind this. That can stay where it's at, but this can slope down a little more. Oops, that still looks crooked. There we go. That looks better. Sort of. Um, well, uh, I think it can look better yet. Down like that. And then, yeah, that does look better. Okay. There we go. There we go. That looks better. Um, all right, back to the ears. I got sidetracked there. So it goes up, then it goes slanted pretty far. I mean, probably like all the way to the edge of the paper slanted. This could probably go up a little higher, and I think I made it a little bit too slanted. It's more so up like that. Yeah, that looks better. All right. Then it goes kind of like this. He has big ears, Delgado. I mean, add to the cuteness, sure, but yeah, I think something. Whoops. I think something like that. Whoops. Don't want to zoom in too or zoom out too far. Next, the little curve in his ear. It's a big one, and it goes basically down aligned. It goes lower than what his cheek drawing is. So we start up here with this. Oh boy, this is gonna be something. You have to kind of go down, and I made it too big. I think. I think I made it too big. Um, yeah. All right, let's try that again. It's kind of hard to tell when you don't have all the little things to help you. All right. Let's do like this. Something more like that. Yeah. Yeah, I think that looks better. Um, how far over? Mm, I think we can keep going. Let's see. Let's do something maybe like that. Because it does curve and go right back up. Hmm. I'm gonna make the curve up here a little bit bigger. Ooh, it's hard to tell, but I think that doesn't look half bad. The only thing is it goes straight up, basically, up to the point where we started. So from down there up to that corner. Hmm. How do we do this? Huh. I'm trying to make sure all the other parts of the ear are looking good as well. And keep in mind, we have to do this again on the other side. I think it's looking pretty good so far. Um, hmm. Maybe this line was I think I'm a little too crazy with this line right here. So let's make it a little smaller. Make it a little bit smaller because it is a little big. Oops. There we go. All right, let's try that again. So let's start with this actually. Hmm. And then down to that. I mean, it looks about the same. It's kinda hard to redo that. I could make that maybe a little more curvy. I think that's what's kind of messing with me is that I think this part here could look a little bit better. Could curve it in a little bit more. Curve it out, I mean, whatever. Curve it a little more altogether, basically. All right. Oops. All right. Let's try that again. There. That looks better. Erase that little thing. There. That looks more like that looks a little better. All right. We don't want to make it too small though because we still have to give it a nice gap. Um so something like this. Then it's supposed to go like up to that. It's supposed to do something like this, but it doesn't quite look. But I also think I went a little too crazy with not giving it much of a curve. Um, I think I know what I did wrong. All right, we're gonna erase the line. We're gonna try again. The line's not too bad. It needs to go more straight though. Um, this is too like I don't know what the right word is. It should go up a little higher. I think that's what is looking a little funky about this as well. It should be going more like that. Oh, but I have to make sure this is straight too, but not too straight. Something like that, maybe. It does curve a little bit at the end, the top of the ear. There we go. Maybe something more like that. Now let me see how this looks now. If I draw, I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. So we're gonna draw up. There we go. That doesn't look bad. That looks better than what, I thought. Maybe we'll put this a little bit more over to that side though, opposed to being right there. It does kind of there we go. Now, the other part of the ear starts like here. By the way, we do have markers, so we are gonna color him in a little more, make him look better. Something like that. It kind of curves and goes up. So something like that, maybe. But let's make it a little bit longer of a curve. There. Something like that, basically. Which I don't think that doesn't look half bad. Um, what else do we have? Well, I think I made the curve. I can make the curve a little sharper, I think. There. Something like that. And then we add a little thing down here. Right probably like here. That goes just connects to his ear. There we go. So we made the one ear. That was something indeed. That was something. That was interesting. Um Now it's time for the other ear. Um Before we get to that, I want to change this. I don't like how that looks. It's supposed to go more like that. Yeah. It doesn't necessarily go up and around. It just kind of like starts as an air starts. Oh, actually, what if I do it like this? What if we start here and work our way down? Aha! Now that's better. All right, now the other side. So we have to do the other ear now. Wonderful. Other ear is the same. It's just the spots on the ear are different, but we're not at the spots yet. Um, hmm. All right, Delgado. Let's see. So we're gonna start probably like around in here, and like the other one, we're gonna go up, straight up. Not too far up though. I mean, we do only have so much room on the paper as well, but something like that. Yeah, something like that. There's that too. That might be too close to the edge. So we're gonna go here. Just copy the same thing that I did. We'll just erase this for now. There we go. All right. Now we do everything the opposite. Now we do this side of the ear. All of our eraser shavings that are already getting all over the paper. Just wonderful. Alrighty. So just like the other ear, it goes down about to the edge of the paper. So something like hmm uh something seems off. I think it's too short, this line. Make this line a little bigger. There we go. All right. Now it can go more down. Hmm. um okay. I'm not sure if that's too far or maybe a little bit, but not too terrible. So let's see. Next, if seems I'm trying to put my finger on what seems wrong. I think it's a little bit once again. It can go further down, I think a little bit. It's kinda hard. It's all right. Anyway, now down over here, let's move this a little bit so you're not just getting my fingers on the camera. Um this one's a little different actually, this part of the ear. So it does kind of go down and curve a little bit. Hmm. Let's see. That's gonna go down and it curves a little bit. Nothing too crazy, but I think I can curve it a little more than what I did. Dakota, don't be drawing so freaking heavy. All right. Something like that. We have something going on like that. Then the ear actually goes up. Oops, that was a horrible line. Hold up. It goes up. There we go. That's better. And then it goes down again. Down to about where the chin is. So something like that. So that's something that's interesting too. His left ear is longer than his right ear is. Huh. I never Who would have thunk? All right. I'm gonna make this line a little bit sharper. Props of having a pencil. Make it a little sharper. Like that. Yeah, that's better. And then once again, like the other one, straight up into that. Whoops. There we go. Something seemed a little off. I'm not quite sure. I think. Actually, I know what. about this ear, and I think it's this. Well, that line's a little crooked as well. Let me look at my picture real quick. I think I know what to do to fix this. I'm gonna make it the ear a little longer. And we're gonna draw a line up to that. There. And then this, I think, can be a little longer too. There we go. That looks better. And of course, just like the other one, we got to draw the little white thing. We're gonna do how I did last time. We're gonna start up here and we're gonna work our way down. It's not necessarily all the way to the top, but it basically is. And it just kind of comes down like that. Well, a little more than that, but you get what I mean. Yeah, something like that. All right, and then of course, right here, that little whatever you want to call it section of the ear connects it. All right, I'm gonna take a minute here and let's look at our drawing so far. I think it's looking rather well. What do you guys think? I think we can. Well, one thing I think just by looking at this, I'm gonna erase a little bit more of the neck right here. But this time I think, well, nah, that seems about right. All right. What do you guys think so far? Obviously, we didn't do too much, but we did do basically the outline of the character. So, that's always great. Get a quick drink, stretch around a little bit. I've been sitting like that for 30 some minutes already. Oops. All right, let's see what step I want to do next. Because I'll probably do the eyes next, is my guess. Not my guess, but that's probably what I'm going to do next is the eyes. So I got to see where the eyes would start. It looks like it starts midway through our little line right around here. So this dude has kind of a bit of a forehead, honestly. Um, but okay, let's see. So yeah, we're gonna do the eyes next. We'll kind of work our way around from there. Um, so let's start somewhere around. Well, let me zoom in so we can see. Move this over a little bit. All right, zoom up a little more. Let's see, about midway on this thing. So it probably starts something like right here. You're gonna add a little. That might be small, but honestly, I think this works. Um, the bottom's kind of he has different eyes than the other Dalmatians in this series. The top, I can tell this is already wrong. Don't draw too. They're slanted a tiny, tiny, tiny bit, but nothing too crazy. All right. Whoa. Nope, I don't like that. It's not straight. It's not straight. It has a curve to it. Kind of like that. Yeah. Then it's gonna. Whoops. Now, what's interesting about his eyes is that they're just all black. So we don't necessarily need to have like an outline. I'm gonna make his eye a little bigger. I think I made it too small. We can curve that a little more. There, something like that. That doesn't look bad. Now the other side, gonna be the same situation. So we're gonna start right around here. Whoops, don't get blurry on me. So a little moving up, a little bit down. It's gonna go kind of something like that. And the bottom ones, you know, something like that ish. I don't really like how that one. It's supposed to be a little bit more level with this side down here. But that eye's now too big. Okay. Um, or is that eye too small? Ooh, that's the question. I don't like this curve up here though. It's already bugging me. So we're gonna fix that. We're gonna fix that, then we're gonna go from there. All right. That looks a tiny bit better. Let's fix the main curve itself. I don't mind the bottom half of the eye, but this half, I don't know what happened. I think that maybe the curve got a little bit too out of hand. We don't want it straight though either. A nice. No, I'm doing it again. Well, actually, hold up. That's not too bad. It seems a little big though. I'm not sure if that's just me. I think it is though, so we'll make it a little smaller. We don't want one eye to be bigger than the other. I guess something like that. It's supposed to be like a tiny bit slanted too. I didn't really. I feel like I did a good job with the one eye. I should probably make it a little bigger though. So we'll fix that in a minute. But I want to make sure I get this eye looking good too. Though Uh, it's not bad. This eye needs to be bigger though. I think I did make it a little bit too small potentially, and it should like curve downwards a little bit. One eye looks like it's up higher than the other, but I don't know. I don't know. Um, Trying to see what my best option would he be. I might just erase this whole eye. I'm gonna make it a little bit skinnier, a little bit longer, a little bit higher. Go over here. So I do want to start. I mean, this is supposed to be the lowest part of the eye, so it kind of goes up a little bit, and this side kind of has a little bit of a thing going on there. Yeah, like that. Except I'm gonna change that. I don't like that. Yeah, I'm not really that good of drawing with eyes. They're kind of hard. Kind of hard, not gonna lie. All right, let's make it. Ah, don't draw so dark. It's okay, Dakota. There. Huh. Okay, that doesn't look bad. I think I'm gonna retry this lower line though. It doesn't go inwards. It just kind of, you know, like that. Nothing too crazy here. Okay, I think I made the eyes look as good as I'm gonna get them. The eyebrows. So your the eyebrow. Well, I guess if I want, I can add like a little indicators of where the eyes are gonna be, just so it doesn't look too crazy. Yeah, his eyes are a little bit like that. Wow, if I can draw lines good. We don't want him to just look like a ghost this whole time while we're trying to draw him. So there, something like that for now. Now the eyebrows, a little bit higher up. Whoops. Um, we're gonna start about here. Get my hand out of the way. It's gonna go kind of up like that. Then it's gonna kind of hmm. Okay, I think I see. It's gonna go kind of like this, and then it stops at the very edge of his eye. So I think I can draw that a little better. Oops. This is one of the first times in a long time that I had a live stream where not many people have been watching, which is fine, obviously, but normally there's more people in a or at least like one person that's talking. Think more like that actually. And then up. Up and then to a point. This one can't no, not down. I guess it does kind of go down a little bit, but once again, we don't want to make it too crazy. There we go. And then it just kind of, goes down with that eye. Something like that. Let's make it look a little nicer though. We can make it look nicer. It doesn't have to be all funky. We're gonna start here at the tip though. Yeah, there we go. Something more like that. Now the other eyebrow is more up higher. Something that I realized that I think I put the eyes or I made the head a little small because he's supposed to have a much more bigger forehead. But oh well. We don't have all the room in the world either, so this eyebrow is up higher. It's up like here. I don't want it to go too high because of the fact we did make the head a little smaller. But, you know, we gotta do what you gotta do. All right. Kind of curves. Not quite as long as the other eyebrow though, actually. It is a shorter eyebrow. What is it with him having two different sized ears and then two different sized eyebrows? I mean, it may just be the way this picture is, but still. There we go. We got his eyebrows. They were way easier than the eyes and the ears. But now it's time for the nose. Hmm. Interesting. All right. Down here for the nose. Man, oh man, it's 1:48 already. Let's see. Move this over. Get rid of that. The nose, the nose. The nose is not going to be too bad. It's going to be the mouth. That's what's going to be crazy. All right. We're going to go down here. Maybe. If I feel like it. Yeah, we're going to go here. Then we're just going to draw like that. Okay. Um, maybe a little further. Something like that. Then about here, it's gonna go down. And same with this side over here. Ooh, I always make the second half look funny. All right, anyway. Let's start here. I guess something like that. Now, the way his nose looks in this picture, But the problem is his eyes are supposed to be closer together. I didn't really make them that close together. I was just more going off of how they looked on each side. So the nose, it's supposed to be. I think I made the head a little wide. That's the problem. The head is supposed to be like skinnier and a little longer. I made it more just standard. But once again, nothing too crazy of a problem. Um, I could probably make his nose a little less funky, though. All right. It goes down a little bit, then it does like a little curve. Something kind of like that, I guess. Um, yeah, I'm feeling happy with the nose. All right. Oh boy, his mouth. um, let's see. This is all the easy stuff still. I haven't even done the body yet. All right, let's do the mouth. Where are we gonna start? Midway through your neck? Kind of do something like this. Then whoops, I don't want it to be too blurry. Then we're gonna go up, something like that. Gotta make sure that we're looking good. I'm gonna make it get a little closer to the face, opposed to closer to the nose. So something more like I'm doing the same as I did last time. I don't want it to be too long though. Can't be that long, Dakota. All right, let's try again. It's okay. Let's see. Up and a big curve, and then it goes down a little bit. So it kind of follows the nose. So maybe the curve to the mouth a little bigger. Doesn't have to necessarily go in right away. Something like that, and then it goes down. And then it whoops, not a straight line. A little bit of a curvy one. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Now he does have some teeth too. Luckily, luckily I don't have to draw the whole thing, but he does have some teeth. So we have to at least draw the outline of how his teeth are. So kind of, in like that, and then out, and then up here, of course. I drew that really big. I drew that really big, bigger, but I guess that is how the picture looks. That is how the picture looks, but I am gonna make it maybe a tad bit smaller. I don't want it to look too big. Oops. There. That looks better, I think. Okay, now that's like the curve seems bigger than I don't know if it's just me or what. Going crazy drawing. All right, anyway. Make the curve hold up. We don't want the mouth to be smaller. We just want the curve to be a little bit bigger. We want the curve to be smaller, I mean. There. That looks better. All right. Anyway, now before I get distracted, up and down. There we go. And now his teeth. We don't need to color in his teeth. We just need to color in these two little sections. There. Those are the only things that are getting colored in. Um, kind of goes like that. Whoops. No, it isn't. And we're not gonna draw too light or too hard. up a bit, and kind of like a curved U, something like that, and then the rest. There we go. All right. So before we get to the body, of course, we're gonna do the spots. He does have two spots up on the top of his head. He has a little one like right above his eyebrow, something like that. And he also has a bigger one. I say little, and I draw a fairly big one there too. I mean, it is a little. I can draw a littler though. Let's make it look more like how it looks in the picture, which is still big. Oh my, whatever. I'll change it later. I want to draw the big one. Okay, that's the big one. Don't have to follow the outline. All right, that's better. All right. He also has, of course, spots on his ears. So for this ear, he has a big one that starts like somewhere around here, and it goes like up and around like that. So he has a big one there, then he has a smaller one next to the little point. There we go. The other ear is a little different. This ear, it's more like just more of a brown or black spot on his ear. It starts about here. Whoops. It starts about here, kind of goes up, then it goes down, and then it goes up some more to the top. And that's all black then, by the way. Okay. Well, so far we have his face done. What are we thinking so far? I mean, I think it looks pretty good so far. I do think, like I said earlier, the face is a little bit wider and smaller than what I would like, but nobody's perfect. All right, now the body. This part's going to be interesting, especially since we have to draw parts of his wheelchair too. Is it going to be easier than Finny? I don't know. All right, let's see. We might as well start. Um, oh geez. We go down a little bit, but not too much. In fact, we go over here more, and that is what goes down. Then it kind of goes up a little bit because he has a collar on. All right. Now we go more down over here. Down. Then a tiny, tiny little curve. Then it goes more like this. And then that's when we get to his legs, his feet, his front paws. I mean, then they curve. You can't see, but they go down. They don't need to be too terribly big, but don't want them to be too small. All right. Then up a little bit. Whoops. Up a little bit. Down. That's a little bit. I can draw a little sharper than that. Redo that too. All right, let's try that again. Um, it doesn't really even curve up. It just more kind of goes like that. I'm not even showing what I'm drawing. There we go. Zoom out a little bit. I can't really put this paper up much further. Okay, then slowly but surely starts curving down. and then over, across, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I don't like that. I didn't draw the line really that good. Um, Something like this, I guess. I think this is what's throwing it off for me. That is, that should be. It's just the picture looks funky. Whoops. No, we don't want it straight. We want it to go up, down, something more like that. All right. Anyway, then we go up. Whoa. No, not that crazy big. Delgado's only a Dalmatian puppy. He doesn't have the longest legs in the world. Okay. That's looking better. Oof, legs are hard too because you have to get in a good position, but I think I drew the legs kind of long, not gonna lie. Um yeah, we definitely drew the legs pretty long. It's okay though. Here we have like a little, like right about around where his neck is. This is always some of the hardest parts of the drawing for me. We do have a little black line that might be able to indicate his legs a little better. I don't know what he's wearing, if it just kind of came along with his little wheelchair or what, but well, not wheelchair, but you know what I mean. All right. Now this side. We'll do what we did last time. We'll start up at the neck and work our way down. Just give me a minute and get a drink and stuff. All right. Zoom up a bit so we can see what I'm drawing. Um, I want to make this part of the neck a little bit more slanted. There, something like that. All right. Now we can start. Um, Same as last time. The tiniest little down because the collar's kind of in the way. So we have to draw the collar again, right about here, and like that. Then like that, sort of. A little longer. Little longer. And down. I did the same thing as last. I literally drew on the same exact line. All right. Try that again. There. Except we don't want it to go out. Ugh. It'd probably just help if I would actually draw the whole collar in. There we go. Something like that. One might as well do the top as well. All right. There we go. That doesn't look bad. The collar is all black, by the way. Um, he does have a little. Well, we'll draw more of that later. I want to draw. I want to finish his body because the color and all that. That's easy stuff. All right. Anyway. Ooh, I really made this thing pretty big. A little smaller, but I want to try to. Let's see. All right. Back to drawing. So let's start right here. We're gonna make it go down, just like the other one. And then, of course, yeah, this thing is way too big. I drew his paw kind of big too. We're gonna make that smaller. His paw is not that long, or not that big. I mean, there, that's better. That looks more like it. All right, now this. Ooh, I have to be careful. I don't want to get ahead of myself. To draw like that. Once again, just like last time, the tiniest little. I'm gonna go down a little further this time, though. Tiniest little anything. Then the paws start. Then the paws. Up to about here. And that's when it starts going out then more. Just like the other one. Move the drawing up a bit. Now I don't want it to be uh too. I'm gonna draw it out a little more, just because I don't want it to be too close to his other paw. So we're gonna draw it more out like that, which is pretty similar to the first one I did, but um now this particular picture is also a standing pose. So yeah, it isn't gonna show like his I don't even know, I can't even say legs, his little wheels and stuff. All right. I mean, we're starting to get to the point though where, you can make out. Well, we've been getting to that point, but still. All right. Let me redraw this again. Down and then out, I think. Nope. It honestly looked better the first way. I am not good at drawing legs. All right. Maybe this is better. I still think we can make it maybe curve a little more though. We don't want it to be too close. There we go. Something like that, I think. If I don't second guess myself. All right. Draw it down a little bit. Not too crazy, because we still have to make, his paws. Or his one front paw. I know I can't see. Whoops. Don't want this thing to fall off. But I can't go back much further either. So this is just how it's gonna be for now. All right. So now his paw, just like the other one, goes up, kind of curves, and goes down. Uh, yeah, I guess like that. Don't want it to be too big. Whoops. Need to be able to see what I'm doing. Paws are pretty skinny. They don't need to be too big. There. That looks better. And the paws are far enough apart. The only problem is this one seems like it's not necessarily on the ground, it's kind of floating a little bit. We can fix that though. There, that's better. Oh boy. Now the thing is, parts of his little wheelchair thing is in the background too. So, I mean, we got basically the legs done. What do you guys think? I'm gonna zoom out. We're gonna look at our pictures so far. What do you guys think? I guess I can add the little the little thing there too. There we go. What do you guys think so far? I mean, no one's watching this live stream right now, but who knows? Might get someone in here. Um, get rid of all these eraser shadings. That was basically the hard parts. The wheelchair parts isn't that difficult. Um, I think it's looking pretty good, honestly, so far. I mean, it looks a little silly, but once again, we need to add the his little back wheels. So, how to do that? I believe we're gonna have to start by zooming in, and right around the edge of this collar, there's like a little red thing. If you see on the title screen, I'm gonna move this over a little bit so you're not just watching my hand. Um, it starts about down here, and it kind of curves a little bit. It curves a lot, actually. Then it goes like this. Then around his paws, curve that a little better. Don't not necessarily goes out and more goes down. More like, yeah, there, like that. That's better. Then it goes down towards his legs. Then it goes out a little bit, something like that. I'm still drawing way too, way too hard. That's just how I'm kind of used to drawing, though. All right, let's see what else. Then we go down pretty far. That goes down all the way to his paws. Oof. Ah, I see what the problem I did. Well, that's fine. Just make it a tiny bit longer. We don't want it to be too big though. Or else, it'll look kind of funny. But it's supposed to go then all the way down to his paws. We might be able to slant it a little bit, but not too much. Something like that. And then right around here. Now up a little further, my bad. Well, actually, we can do this starting with the paws. Um, whoops, you guys can't see. Zoom out. There we go. It starts around the like middle section of his paws. It goes up. It goes up pretty high actually, like that, and then something like that. There we go. He got his little back tire. Now this side, same thing as the other side. So we can just kind of slant this down. Whoops. Not necessarily against the collar, but like that potentially. But it's also going to slant down like this as well, like the last time, like the other side. Then it's going to go out again. Kind of like that. And then, whoa, nope, not slanted. Let me go out a little further. There. And then down to his paws. And then of course we're gonna do like the last one. Go about here. Whoops. I made that a little too wide. His tires aren't that big. His wheels. Something like that. And then just like the other one. Like that. Oh, I made that big. I'm looking at it a little wonky. But you get what I mean. Like that. Yeah, that's better. He does have a little connector thing by his bottom paws too. I made his bottom paws different lengths. All right, well, it's about here, I want to say, is the little zoom up a little bit and move this over so it's easier to see. Something like that. Gonna go like this, and then like that. Something like that. What else do we have in this picture? He has like a little black outline of that thing that we just of these little things. There's a black outline too. So it kind of goes out, out, down, down pretty far actually. Over, and then just down to that. And then same on the other side. Goes out, down, in, and down the rest of the way. So something like that. Um, of course, we can draw the little line in his collar. There isn't really any. Let's see. It's right dead in the center. So something like that, and we can erase these lines here. I know, it makes it looks like it's broken. Okay, we're not going to erase these lines yet. Oops. We're going to keep these lines for now. But once we color him in, then we'll erase some more of those pencil lines just so it doesn't look quite as funky. Um let's see. Those paw pads, that's another thing I need to draw in yet. So let's see. One of them starts like about here. Then it goes up like that. Then we have another one further out. Oh, he has a little gray thing here too. It starts here and then it kind of just works its way down. I don't know if I have gray and mark. I don't know if I have a gray marker, but we can always figure something out. This goes about up to where that paw is, like that. Then the other side, of course, same situation. Where we start, whoops, out a little bit, move it over. I don't want this camera to fall off. All right, up, and then up. This one's a little bigger. It should be aligned with his paw though. There we go. Something like that. I'm going to change this one a little bit. So it kind of goes more like that. Something kind of like that. It's not my easiest. But yeah, here we have, as of now at least, our drawing of Delgado. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. I don't think I did. I think we got all the big main like outline stuff. So now it's just a matter of coloring him in. Um oh, and of course using um doing the outline and stuff too, because the outline is black. So let's start with that, shall we? And anything that is black, we're gonna do that right now. So I guess we'll start with the head. Why not? That's where we started this video off. Down like that. there. All right, so I got the outline of his head. We'll do the ears next. Now this is where it gets interesting because this part of the ear is all black, but we still draw the outline. Now, I guess because, this is all black, we can color this all in. I don't want to go too crazy with coloring it in. I don't want to get out of the lines. And of course, just like the last drawing I did, I'm going to erase the pencil lines that I created at the very end. The pencil lines that don't need to stay. I might color in his paw pads gray though. Or not the pads, just the paws. Because it is gray and I don't have a gray marker, unfortunately, so might have to do that. All right, there's ear number 1. Oh, and now we need to go to near ear number 2. So here we go. Here we go, and then of course, once again, we'll color in spots because they all are already black as is, so might as well. There we go. Um, his face obviously still needs colored in. Zoom up a little bit. Whoops. There we go. Now his eyebrows, are they black or brown? I think they are black. Yeah, they're black. There's no brown on this character at all. That's crazy. All right, anyway, his eyebrows are black. His eyes, obviously the pupils are black. Outline, I believe everything's, yeah, black. He does have little lines too. Little black lines like next to his mouth and stuff. I might add that. We'll see. There we go. His other little eye. I'll have to say, for someone who hasn't watched much of 101 Dalmatians Street Smart, I do love this character. He's cute. There. The nose, of course, is all black too. We can add those little lines at the end. I just want to make sure I get like the outline and stuff done first. Here we go. His mouth. Now, his teeth aren't actually black. Like the outline doesn't show black. So we're just gonna keep it the teeth as is, but his mouth outline is black. Yeah, that's literally all that's black. And of course his spots are black too. There we go. So we got his face outlined. The body though. His collar is black. Those little whatchamacallits are black. His wheels are black, and his legs are black. And all the outlines except for the red, except for that red part of his wheelchair and the yellow. Those are two things that I got to remember, but I believe everything else is outlined with black. So honestly, we don't even need that part of the collar because it's all just going to be black. Same with this. Of course, I'll draw that. And this is all black too, so we can just color that in. There we go. What should we do next? His legs, I guess. Yeah, probably. All right. So we have that. Now this section here is all black. Now I do believe um, the outline, yeah, the outline of his paws are black. The little whatchamacallits, so I'm gonna do this black so that we can color in his little legs. His only legs. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any back legs. Poor guy. I think he has fun with his wheels though, from what I see. He enjoys his wheels. All right. The other leg. Yeah, once you start adding the color, it really starts looking more like the character, and I noticed that with Delgado here. The more color I add to him, the more he starts looking more like Delgado, opposed to just Any other dog? All right, there we go with that. Let me take a look at our little draw, or not drawing, but the picture. Um, so the wheels are black. Oh, yes, this little thing is black. That's black. What a random thing on his wheelchair. All right. His wheels are black. That outline is red, though, I believe, of that little thing. Yeah, the wheels and that little bar. Then everything else is either different colors or they're just shades that don't get colored in. Shades of gray that don't get colored in. I'm gonna have to kind of go down a bit here. What do you guys think? You think I should post a picture of the finished product on my posts? I probably should. I think that'd be great for the people who didn't see this live stream, or you don't want to watch this video because it is over. It's well over an hour long. I would say the drawing part of it is much simpler than Finney was. I drew him, but yeah, I'll probably post. I'm gonna post a picture on my posts when I'm all finished with Delgado. All right, so that's all of the like black stuff. The other stuff is like different colors. Let's take a look at him real quick. Why? Check out the other colors we need. Just give me one sec. So we need some yellow. We we need yellow. We need red, and we need some pink, and of course the gray on his paws. But I believe those are the only colors we need. Now yellow is kind of a funky color because the yellows we have aren't necessarily the greatest. Hmm. I do have other yellows though. So give me one sec. This one's kind of a big yellow, but it is yellow. So I might have to use that. Red, of course, and pink. And then we'll color in his little paws last. Let's start with yellow. We'll get his little yellow collar thing done. This is going to be difficult because this thing is big. Something like that. It's a little bit dark, but what can you do? Um, let's do pink next. He has the pink in his ears. So we're gonna go like that. We're gonna zoom up. There we go. So we can color in his ears. Hello. Welcome to the live stream. We are currently coloring in our picture of Delgado. You're the only one watching? Yeah, I haven't had too many people watch this stream, which that's all right. Sometimes you get more people on your streams than others, even when you have 1,000 subscribers. All right, one ear, and now the other ear. I'm glad you like the drawing. It took basically this whole live stream to do it, but I think it turned out pretty good too. My first time ever drawing Delgado, keep in mind. I've never once drawn Delgado. I don't think I've ever once drawn a Dalmatian character. All right. Well, there's his ears, and now, of course, last but not least, we have his red. So he has a little bit of red in his mouth, like these little sections here are red. His nose is black. Or noise? What noise? Are you talking about the noise that you're currently hearing? Oh, nice. This red's kind of dark, but I guess it works. Yeah, it's kind of a dark red. Let me see if I have a lighter red, potentially. All right, I found another red, but I'm not sure if it's darker than the other one. It looks darker. It looks dark. Yeah, it's like the same. All right, it's okay. It's this little wheelchair thing is just going to be a little more darker than what we normally would like, but it's okay. All right, so all of that in there is going to be red, and then we're going to color his paw pads and erase the pencil lines that we don't need anymore. Yeah, that is a dark, dark red, but it's okay. What is nice about drawing a Dalmatian is they're white. So you don't have to um color in too much. You love it? I'm glad you love it. I wanted to do something for my 1,000 subs special. And drawings would end up getting the most votes. So even if I haven't gotten too many people watching the stream, it'll of course be available to watch afterwards. If you want to watch the whole, what is this? Almost 100 minutes, it says. It's really cool. I'm glad you like it. I'm probably gonna post a picture of it um once I'm done with this live stream on my posts. So you can always see the finished product there as well. Because I do think, obviously the more I drew it, the more better it turned out to be. There. I mean, it's a little dark, but it's okay. All right. Another thing I wanted to do. Oh, just got wet. Another thing I wanted to do is I want to color in his paw pads. I want his paws to be gray. Well, that's a neat little emoji set. If you know in the picture, I'll show the picture real quick. I mean, you can see from the title, but you see in the picture here, his paws are a little bit gray. They're not white like the rest of him. So that's what I want to do. We're just gonna use a normal pencil because I don't believe at least I have any grays. Let me check real quick just to be sure. Yeah, no grays. So we use a pencil. Color in not too light, not too heavy. A light little color. Now, if you are curious, this isn't the first time I did a drawing stream. I did draw Finny from Pupstruction about like 9 months ago, and that video did get a lot of views. And when I got my 1,000 subscriber special, I knew I wanted to do some sort of live stream, so I let it up to you guys to decide what I should do. And the winner ended up being drawing. Now, have you ever seen 101 Dalmatians Street Smart before? 'Cause I've never really seen it much, not even now. I want to watch some of the episodes though. You've seen it? Okay. I've heard it's a good show. I just never gotten around to seeing it, or just wasn't interested. But I will say I'm starting to get, I think, interested in the show, so potentially I think I might binge watch a few episodes here and there. Then who knows, maybe on my second channel, I'll do like a ranking of all the episodes from the show. What do you think about that? Because I already ranked all the episodes from the older one, the series, but I've never seen Street Smart, so I never ranked any of the episodes from Street Smart before. So maybe that's something I'll do on my second channel. Yes, please. All right. Well, guess that's something I'll keep in mind. All right. Well, here's our finished drawing product of our finished drawing of Delgado. Now I'm still gonna erase the pencil lines so it does look a little nicer, especially like around on his collar and stuff. Favorite show? Ooh, that's tough. If I had to pick, uh, I love Total Drama. Total Drama's up there. But if it was strictly like a show with like cute characters in it, like puppies, I don't know. Bluey's up there. Super Kitties is up there. Um, probably one of those two would be up there. Um, heck, Street Smart might be up there if I watch it and like it. All right. Now we're gonna start erasing some of the pencil lines. So I mean, it doesn't look bad, but you can see in some areas. You can see like obvious pencil lines, which is also why I wanted to draw light because I knew I'd be doing this at the end, where I'd be erasing all the pencil lines. You can see them a little bit in the black here. Now, I'm not going to erase all the pencil lines because obviously some of them are staying around, but not all of them. Whoops, can't see what I'm doing. Okay, that's one ear. Ear number two. It is very interesting how his ears are different designs. One of them has a big giant black mark on it. The other one has like a little, almost like chunk taken out of his ear. Wonder what happened there. Guess he was just born like that. Makes you feel bad for the little guy though. No legs and chunk taken out of the, well, no back legs, I should say. It looks really good with the pencils and without as well. Yeah, because I mean, if I wanted to, I could keep the pencil marks in because it doesn't really show that much. And I mean, it showed more when I did Finny last year, but you can see some of these, like the reds and the yellows, do show up a little bit more. So, whoops, this eraser's starting to get a little dull. I've used it a lot now at this point. But yeah, I can keep the pencil marks in it if I really wanted to, but I don't mind erasing them either. Makes it look a little nicer. especially around the lighter colors. 10K subs? I have no idea. I feel like it's gonna be a while before I get to 10K subs. I just got the 1K subs, but I'm sure I'll have something in mind if I do ever get the 10K subs. But I do have a few videos in mind for the 1K sub. I'm not gonna spoil them yet. I'm not gonna spoil all the 1K sub ones yet. Some of them I want to wait for because I'm currently doing uh Cartoon Amazing Race right now. I'm doing an episode of that. So I'm gonna wait to do some of the shorts. But one of them that I wanted to do was at least some sort of live stream. Erase the outlines of the mouth, but we're not gonna erase the teeth. Whew. All right. Get rid of these pencil shavings a little bit. And we're gonna erase the lines on the body next. Who's your favorite character from 101 Dalmatians Street Smart? Because I know obviously there's 101 characters. I know they're not all real. I know they're not all really characters, but or they're not all main characters. I mean, I will say props to them for making these characters really cute though too. Like the designs of these characters are really really great. I think they did a good job with these characters. They made them all look pretty different too. All the main ones at least. Favorite drawing that I've ever done? That's a good question. Because like I said last year, I drew a picture of Finny for a Finny from Pupstruction, and I think it turned out pretty well. I'm not sure if it's my favorite or not. I don't know. I haven't really drawn too much. It does take a while. Yeah, like when I want to draw something, I want to make it look really good. So I'm not just gonna do something like half-heartedly or just like lazily make something. Like I want to actually like draw something really nice. Um, I think really the only two drawings that I really like were probably Delgado and Finny from last year. Whoops. I honestly think Delgado looks better, but Delgado is a little easier too. Finny is a little hard just because he's so like what's the word? He's like you have to draw a corgi, and corgis aren't the easiest to draw. Dalmatians are definitely easier drawing. Well, there we go. There's our finished drawing of Delgado. Pibble the dog? Nah, I've never seen Pibble before. What's he from? Or she? Oh, it's a meme? He's a meme? Yeah, I've never seen Dibble before. But yeah, here's our finished drawing of Delgado. I think honestly, I think it turned out pretty well. Like I said, I think I like it better than the one I drew of Finny last year. Well, here's the picture I was going off of too. If you're curious. So, well, and it's on the thumbnail too, but that's the picture I tried to go off of. And I think he turned out really well. I will say the only thing that I do notice is I think I made his head a little bit just a little too wide, and I think I made it a little too short. But those are little things that you're not necessarily going to notice, especially from far away. Um the body I think I did a pretty well job on. The paws are a little, cattywampus, but we can ignore that. They don't look too flat on the ground, if you know what I mean. But I think it looks pretty good overall. Like overall, I'm happy. I'm happy with how it looked. You like the stream? Well, thank you. I see you gave it a like. Um, before, so we'll be leaving here soon, but not quite yet because this is the first, basically the first time this whole stream that I really had much anybody watching. So we'll sit here. I'll sit here for a minute, and we can chat a little bit. But let's see what time it is. It's 2:50. Well, that's what my time is right here where I'm at. So I'll give it about 10 more minutes, and then I think I'm gonna call it a stream. But 10 minutes to be able to chat a little bit. Anything you want to say? Any videos you want me to make in the future, or whatever. Go ahead. I'm here. I'm all ears. We can turn this thing on too. There we go. So we have a flash on too, so we can kind of see it. Although I do have a lamp set up. I live in America. I do live in America. It's June. Tomorrow's the first day of summer, so can't complain much there. We're going on vacation here soon. We're going to be going to the beach. So I do plan on doing a live stream when I go down to the beach as well. So stay tuned for that. That's coming in. What's today? Saturday? Let's see. One, two, like a little more than 2 weeks. You live in England? Nice. Never been to England. I've never been outside of America except we did go on a cruise one year about 10 years ago, and that was outside the USA, I believe, certain of the islands we went to. But other than that, I've never been outside of America before. Oh, pencil got a little wet. Surprised I didn't need to sharpen my pencil at all, but it was pretty sharp. It rains a lot in England. Oh boy. I thought it rained a lot here in America. We did have kind of a little bit of a rainy spring too. It's definitely gotten better over here for us, but there has been a few days that it has been rainy. It's nice today. Like it is a nice sunny warm day here where I'm at. But yeah, we also get rain. We got a few thunderstorms. We're getting to that time of the year where, you know, we're getting a lot of the thunderstorms, but we need them. It's all right now in England. That's all right. That's good. As long as it's nice over the summer. I don't care much about the winter. You can do whatever once then. We're not outside. But over the summer I like to be outside. I like to do things. Like I said, we're going to the beach in a few weeks. My birthday's coming up in a few weeks. So yeah, that'll be fun. Now, once again, like I said, I think I said this before, but but when I do end this live stream, I am gonna post a picture on my posts. So then we can see the finished product of Delgado. I'll post the picture that I was copying off of, and then I'll post this picture right next to it. Thank you. Mine is basically exactly 2 weeks from now. Yeah, almost 2 weeks. Here's in September. Is it before fall time, or is it in the tiny little bit of fall time in September? It's in the fall? Okay. Just like my brother. He has a fall birthday as well. He was never the biggest fan of it because he had to go to school on his birthday. Not me. I never had to go to school on my birthday. But I do potentially have to go to work on my birthday instead, but it's okay. This year we have off on my birthday, like the place I work at. So I do have off for my birthday, which is nice. Well, I work at a place called you're not obviously you're not gonna know what this place is, but it's called Conestoga Wood. They have a Conestoga Wood. Uh it's a wood place, obviously, make cabinet doors and stuff. But I don't even make the doors. I take out the trash. Yeah. I go around to all the different areas and I'll throw cardboard away, throw trash away, you know. It's it's kind of silly, but it is an easy job and it's fun. I used to sand. I used to, do sanding when I was there, but I switched over because they needed help for trash. So I was like, sure, why not? So I did sand there for about, I want to say, over a year or so. Yeah, over a year. Then I switched over to doing trash. But yeah, it's been good. We have off over the weekend, so that's nice. Where do you work at if you work at all? You don't work? Okay. But yeah, I have off Saturdays, and I knew today would be a perfect day to do um this live stream. You still in school yet? I graduated a few years ago, and thank God I did. I'm not a big fan. I was never a big fan of school. Although I will say on the topic of drawing, I did always like art class. So I did take basically all the art classes that you can take in school. Like when I was in high school, I took like 2D design, it was called. Then there's like advanced drawing and painting. So I do love drawing and stuff. And I love video games and stuff too. So we have a game called Tomodachi Life. And in that game, you can have a whole bunch of different meat characters do whatever. And they added a thing where you can draw on your meat characters. So you can draw like a bunch of different cool designs on different or make like unique fun characters up. So that I always thought was really neat about about the Switch's Tomodachi Life. But yeah, I do like drawing from time to time too. I mean, I don't do it all the time, but if I'm in the mood to do it, I'll do it. And I'll do it, of course, for a live stream too. But here's something I'm curious about. Who should I draw the next time I do some sort of drawing live stream? What character from whatever show would you like to see me draw next? Because I'm an open book. I don't mind hearing some ideas of what characters you'd like to see me draw. I did have a few characters in mind, but I wanted to try Delgado out. As for one, I've never drawn a Dalmatian before. Pikachu? That's not a bad idea. I could always draw him sometime. Or even, it doesn't even have to be on a stream. I can just draw it and send a post. Show what the post looks like. Well, we're down to about our last few minutes, so anything else you want to say before anything else you want to talk about before we sign off? Steve from Minecraft, that wouldn't be bad either. Anything else before we end the live stream? You don't know? That's okay. That's okay. I'll give it another minute just in case. I want to see how much darker this looks without this lamp. It does look darker. What do I like to draw? I mean, really, honestly, it's really anything that just pops in my mind. Like when I did art class in school, I would do like I did a video game controller that I made of clay. I did like um I forget what else I did. I'll draw random stuff, but if it's like on my own time, then I don't mind drawing like characters and stuff. And especially like cute like puppies and kitties, cartoons, um characters. So I usually don't, but if I have a lot of time on my hands like I do today, I like to draw monsters. That's nice. That's neat. All right. Well, I think time is about up. Hope you guys enjoyed this live stream of me drawing Delgado from the 101 Dalmatians Street Smart series. Like I said, next live stream is going to be in a few weeks when I go down to the beach. I'll be doing a live stream, probably showing around the hotel that we're at and stuff. But yeah, that'll be fun. I'm glad you loved it. Um, and yeah, nothing else I gotta say. Happy 1,000 subscribers to my channel, which is crazy. And I will see you guys, next time we do a live stream. So see you all